Hey everyone. For those of you who are new here, I'm Josh, and in this video, I want to talk about something that would help us no longer hate each other or not get along with other people. And that is, if we only just took the time to truly get to know each other and understand each other. This is like the barrier that keeps people from connecting with each other, because we as human beings can be rather judgmental. We often make incredibly quick snap judgments when we see other people, and we tend to notice whatever differences they have compared to us. This is why racism is a thing, right? Because we look at other people, see that they have a different skin color, and unfortunately some people, rather than accepting others, they then say, this person is different from me, so I'm going to treat them differently because of it. And then, a whole host of other different issues exist because of this as well. We as human beings tend to play this weird game of us versus them, and we tend to choose certain tribes and then alienate other tribes, and it all pretty much stems from us not taking the time to truly get to people and understand them. Because if we all did this, it would probably get rid of war, right? If we actually took the time to truly understand other people, why they act the way they are, why certain things upset them, why maybe they don't like us, and other things like that, there wouldn't really be any war. Because war rather often is fought over resources or for power struggles and other BS like that. And if people just took the time to talk to each other, well, this would be politicians primarily talking to each other, maybe they'd be able to strike deals instead of causing war. Maybe they'd be able to figure things out. Not always, of course. I'm not naive. I get that. There certainly are instances where this wouldn't be the case. And also, certain world leaders are probably the type that you could never really negotiate with them because they just want what they want, right? You probably have an idea of who I'm referring to when I say this. But for the most part, when we try to understand other people and truly get to know them, it eliminates barriers to connection. It allows us to fully and deeply connect with the other person because we get to understand all their wants and needs, all their desires, even maybe their fears and insecurities. A few videos ago, I made one where I was talking about how honesty can pretty much solve almost any interpersonal issue, because it really can. The only problem is both parties need to be honest and they need to strive to understand each other and have that open line of communication with empathy. And often you won't get this from both parties, right? Like if you're watching my videos, you're probably more likely to employ this, but maybe the other person you're trying to communicate with won't because they haven't done that inner work. So this is usually a barrier to connecting with other people, them not wanting to have that level of honesty with others. So it leads to that disconnection. But the more that you strive to understand other people and fully get to know them, the better you'll be able to connect with them. A great example of this would be, let's say you run into a rude person at a grocery store when you're waiting in line, right? Like let's say maybe they try to cut in front of you. Normally we'd probably get really upset over that, right? Because it's not cool of them to think that they're entitled enough to just go right in front of us. But if you took the time to try to understand them and get to know them, maybe you'd find out that there's something going on in their life. Maybe they're a bit pressed for time right now because they are running late when they're trying to meet someone they care about, or maybe there's something important they have to do later in the day. You never truly know. Or maybe they're just an entitled, rude person, but at least if you tried to understand them, you would know that for certain rather than just assuming it and being wrong because they're just have some things going on in their life. You never truly know. Just like if someone's speeding in traffic, most of the time people doing that are just, they're entitled, they're not thinking about others. But sometimes it could be for a good reason. Maybe it's that cliche example of someone trying to get to the hospital in time for their loved one to give birth. You just never know what's happening. But when we try to understand other people and get to know them, we find out the reasons for their behavior. It removes all doubt. And that's what makes it easier to connect with other people. It even allows us to move through conflict, because you could meet someone who's having a really bad day, but maybe they're a great person otherwise. Maybe their patience is just worn thin and they're being a bit rude or short with other people, but they're not actually like that most of the time. Maybe it's just one bad day for them out of the entire year, and you happen to luck out into meeting them on that exact day and you think that they're an a-hole, but they're actually not. This is what I mean. It would be so amazing if more people employed trying to understand other people and get to know them rather than immediately judging them and making all these assumptions and whatnot and forming an ill-informed opinion of them. Yeah, I really wish more people would do this, but obviously that's not going to be a thing. So instead of me trying to bank on that, I'll just ask all of you to try putting this into practice in your own life, and you'll see how it makes it so much easier to connect with others, because it'll help you avoid the snap judgments, or maybe not avoid them, you'll probably still make them, but it'll help you move through them so that you're not just immediately buying into your snap judgments, because we can so often be incredibly wrong with them, right? I'm sure many people out there have saw someone before who was incredibly intimidating, so they were like, okay, let's avoid this person, not talk to them. But then if you actually interact with them, you find out that they're like one of the coolest, nicest people ever. I've encountered this so often, because usually those intimidating people, they are actually really cool because they've been through enough to kind of show them how kindness is the way to move forward. And also a lot of people who are really lethal when it comes to like physical combat, they're incredibly cool because they understand the value of avoiding conflict, because they know how dangerous it can be and how even big people can be hurt rather easily, because we as human beings are really fleshy, and yeah, we're pretty weak for the most part compared to many other animals out there. So a lot of intimidating people, they're rather conflict averse because they know that. They would prefer conflict to be like the last possible resort. So there you go. That's just one example of how we can be incredibly wrong with our snap judgments, because maybe that intimidating person would actually be one of the coolest people and nicest people you've ever met if you just took the time to talk to them and not immediately judge them as being, oh, they're intimidating, I should avoid them. Yeah, so there you go. It's just something that's worth practicing, and I only wish more people would do it, but oh well, it is what it is, right? But anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more, and feel free to throw a like on the video. That helps me out with the algorithm, and it's really easy to do, right? You just click that little thumbs up, that's all you got to do, and it helps me tremendously, way more than you would ever know. So yeah, feel free to do that, and stick around for more videos. I've got more things coming in the future, but truly hope you enjoyed this video. Happy New Year, and I hope that this year will be a great one for you. Arrivederci.